Welcome to this, our youth group message for Sunday, July the 25th of the year 2021. We are the Hispanic Presbyterian Church of Paterson, New Jersey. And I am Maria Santa, your lay pastor.
And I am Natalia Cruz, your youth group leader.
We welcome you to this message today that is based on a story that is one of the favorites of our children in church and from our youth group as well. Our youth group that started as children in our church will remember this story very well once we talk about it.
But first, I have a question, as always. Have you ever had or have you ever given someone a second chance? Have you ever been given a second opportunity, a second chance at anything? Retaking a test, redoing a homework, making a recipe that maybe you messed up the first time. Have you given somebody a second chance? Maybe they lost your trust some way, somehow, and you say, you know what, they are my friend, they are somebody I care about, I'm going to give them a second chance.
Second chances are valuable.
And rare.
Rare and very important.
Mm-hmm.
They're valuable because it gives you an opportunity to redo something. It gives you a fresh start and a new beginning. They're rare because not everybody's willing to give a second chance, and not everybody is brave enough sometimes to ask for a second chance. Sometimes it is good to ask for a do-over, for a second chance. So second chances are important in our lives, and it's good to give them to others, but it's also good to receive them ourselves.
And there's someone from the Bible that got a huge second chance. We're going to show you a book that you probably know. It's one of my favorites. At home I have the same exact book, but it has my autograph in it from my 4-year-old self.
Yes, and it's a familiar story to all of you, and if you are a member of our youth group, you probably have heard this story read by us many times in our Sunday school. It's the story of Jonah. And when we talk about this prophet, Jonah was a prophet chosen by God to spread the message throughout the land in those days. The story of this prophet makes us think usually about just one thing.
The whale.
Everyone says, oh yes, Jonah, the one that was swallowed by the whale. And why did that happen to him? There is a lot in the story of Jonah, but one of the things that I want to say to you is that Jonah made some choices.
As we all do.
And with his choices came consequences. And he had to face those. So we're not going to read the story, but we want to reference it, and we thought that you would like to see the cover of this book that we have read to you so many times, and that we have done some projects and some art in our youth group lessons and with our children in our Sunday school lessons.
And we encourage you to read it in the Bible. Is it the shortest?
It's one of the shortest.
It's 2 pages.
Just 2 pages. Jonah's book in the Bible is just 2 pages long, but it's a very interesting story.
So if you don't know it, you can pause the video and go read it really quickly and then come back and watch this video. But what we want to talk about is, like my mom said, his choices and second chances, right? So we know that in the story of Jonah, he wanted to run away from God because God gave him a mission and he didn't want to do it. And sometimes we want to run away too.
Yes, we usually want to run away when things are difficult for us. When something that you have to do gives you a lot of stress, right? When you have to make a decision, a choice that puts that stress and that mental pressure on you, and you feel like, oh, I can't deal with this. I wish I could just disappear and run away. Everybody has felt like that at some point in their lives.
And those mental pressures, I love that you said that, because sometimes we let the things in our head become a hiding place from God. And those things in our head becomes options instead of God being our only option or our main option, right? So let's try not to do that. Try not to hide so much by using other things to hide.
Yeah, so our mind sometimes plays games on us, right? When you are in the middle of a big decision, your mind may say, oh, you're not prepared for that. You don't have what it takes to do that. Oh no, you want to give that person a second chance? Don't do it. They don't deserve it. You know, our mind is a place where we hide in those thoughts that sometimes are not positive thoughts, or are thoughts that bring stress to us. And so what I always tell you is that when you know there's something bigger and greater than yourself, and you know that you belong to this immense power that is God, then you have a weapon to use against the mind games that sometimes, you know, our head plays on us. Yes, yes.
In the story of Jonah as well, he I can't even speak today, guys. Not only did he want to run away from God, but he did it in different ways. He took a ship out to sea, took a ride from other sailors, and in the story you'll see that the further that Jonah went in this boat trying to run away from his mission, the stronger a storm that had come got. And that sometimes we have to remember that when we try and get further and further away from that source, from that power, from that goodness, our lives can also become rockier, just like this storm.
And the storm that Jonah found himself in the middle of was, you know, a moment that created problems for others. Because this storm came about precisely because Jonah was trying to run away so he wouldn't have to do what God was asking him to do. The mission that God had given Jonah was to go to a town, a village, and tell the people in that village they needed to change. They needed to make a change in their lives because they were going down the wrong path. And God had asked Jonah, do this. Please go there and tell them that if they don't change their ways, something that is not good will happen to them. But Jonah hated those people. He did not like them. And he said, I am not doing that to go there and bring them a good message so that they can be better and be saved. When I know they're not good people, they don't deserve my energy. I'm not doing it. And so he ran away, got into this boat, the ship got into the ocean, and a storm hit the ship. And a big storm, and as Natalia said, the further along they went running away from God, the stronger the storm became. And so Jonah had to admit to the soldiers and to not the soldiers, but the sailors that the storm was because of what he had done. And that's when the sailors said, you better pray to your God because we're all going to die here. And Jonah said, just throw me overboard. Imagine, Jonah preferred to be thrown overboard
than to go on the mission
in the middle of a storm that would have drowned him than to go back and do what God was asking him to do. And it was all because of what he had in his head, the prejudice he had towards the people of Nineveh, the things that he disliked about them did not allow him to open his heart to bring this message to them. So that's why we sometimes have to really control our thoughts to prevent them from dominating our faith.
We're sorry about the phone. Parts of being virtual. Can't help the phone ringing.
Yeah, so we were talking about how Jonah, not Noah, I'm confusing my prophets now. How Jonah really wanted to run away, and in making that choice, he ended up hurting other people because the sailors on that ship were just in peril, right? They were in danger of losing their lives over Jonah's decision.
And like us, we all know that there are always consequences to our choices, right? Whether they be good or bad consequences, depends on your actions, right? But one thing that happened, that we all know that happens to Jonah after he goes over the boat, is that he gets swallowed by the big fish. I'm going to bring this closer really quickly so you can see. And sometimes the only way to weather our storm is to be alone in the belly of the fish.
To be alone in the belly of the fish. There are situations and problems and decisions that we make that bring about such things to our lives that we need to take a moment, make a pause, be by ourselves, and that gives us an opportunity to reconnect with God. Because sometimes when the storm is very strong around us, when we have done things that we know are not the best choices, we have to be separated from everything and everyone so that in our mind and in our hearts, we can be in a calm place to be able to make that connection with God again in order to come back afloat and keep doing what we are supposed to do.
And funny enough, my mom said it. The fish swallowing Jonah probably saved him from drowning. You know, and it's amazing to think that this action of this fish swallowing him was something positive, but it was, right? He ended up not drowning. And something that I wrote down was that drowning is not an option for God. He'll never let us fully drown, right? He'll always send something or someone or a friend to help us get back up, or to give us that safe space, like the belly of the fish, to reconnect.
And so today we want to think about the fact that, you know, the journey that Jonah went on was based on choices that he made. In doing what he did, he delayed the message for the people of Nineveh. But it was necessary, because Jonah went through a change. Jonah was given a second chance, and that helped him to understand that that is exactly what God wanted to do with the people of Nineveh. He wanted them to have another chance to straighten out their lives, to live a better life, to make better choices. And so being swallowed by the fish, being in the middle of the storm, yes, was the result of Jonah's choices, but it was part of the journey in order for him to understand why his mission was so important and why God had chosen him to be the one to go and bring this message to the people of Nineveh.
So just like God gives us multiple chances, not just a second, he gives us thirds and fourth and fifth chances. Let us try and give second chances to others. Instead of punishing, let's forgive. Instead of fury and anger, let's love, right? All using God as our example in doing so.
So we hope that this message today has you thinking a little bit about the importance that second chances have, about how valuable those chances are, how rare they are, how important they are to our lives. And let's give them more, you know, to people that sometimes maybe don't deserve it, but need a second chance. And let's try to control our minds so that our minds don't control our faith. Because God is powerful, walks with you, has chosen you to be on his team. He's always by your side and on your side. So share those good news. Give second chances. Take the second chances that you are given and make the best out of them. May God bless you today. Enjoy the week. Summer is flying by, and soon we will be in school. You will be in school, and we will be going about a different season. Fall will be upon us soon. So take care. God bless you, And until we see each other today, may God keep you in the palm of his hand. Bye.
Bye, guys.